Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the 4th day of September 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy today, and that your families are safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders who every day are doing their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those that are helping the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create the demands that cause these industries to exist. And finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night in Toronto, Canada. The New York Knicks defeated the Toronto Raptors 111-95. And what we are now seeing is what we hoped for from the Mike Brown-led Knicks. Now, overall, obviously, there is differences between the Tibbs system and the Brown system. The biggest difference is in the minutes. I just looked at the top 8 players that played for Tibbs in the top 8, which has been switched a little bit more difficult to gauge because Mike Brown has switched them. Like, for example, Jordan Clarkson was one, now he's not. Okay, Muhammad Diawara was not one, and now he is. So kind of a little bit more difficult to gauge, which is part of the point. So last year, Tibbs' top 8 played 53 minutes, and 36 of those was the starters and 17 was the bench. And the thing is, of course, we know that the Knicks starters led the league in minutes. This year, you take the same 53 minutes or 54 minutes, and 33 is the starters. So there's 3 minutes less on the starters, which over the course of an 82-game season is huge. And then there's 21 minutes for the bench, which again mean you can see that Brown is putting more emphasis and more trust on his bench than Tibbs did. And that's going to pay dividends in the playoffs. What's helping us right now is now they're doing what we wanted them to do, which what Tibbs teams always did, and that is they're playing their best basketball now. And the help with that is Brown is figuring out who his top guys are going to be. That's the thing that was kind of causing a little bit of instability in that, and some people call it inconsistency, which I hate that word. It was not. But Brown needed time to figure out what he was comfortable with. And so now we have Diawara as part of that rotation. We already have the rest of the guys now. He moved Mitchell Robinson, to the bench a while ago. But if you remember in the beginning of the season, a lot of people were pining for that twin tower. That's not working as a starter. It's working during some course of time, and during the course of a game. You might see it 5 minutes, but it's not overdone. And so it took Brown a minute to figure out what he wanted and what he wanted to see. And now it looks like he's got it. So you got Diawara, Deuce, Mitch Rob, Alvarado, and Shamet coming off your bench. And then, of course, you got the same 5 starters with Josh Hart. By the way, all of the people that get caught up in the moment calling for Josh Hart to be put on the bench for Diawara, y'all need to grow up. The Knicks are 41-10 when Josh Hart starts. Brown figured this out a while ago, but now some of y'all need to catch up. Hart needs to start because the flow is better in the starting unit when he's there. He brings all kind of energy to the starting unit. He's a glue guy, an ultimate type of glue guy. And then again, for all of y'all whining about Mikal Bridges, again, y'all need to grow up. Mikal Bridges plays better when the ball is moving. If you notice Mikal Bridges, when he is really having a high-scoring game, the ball is moving and he's catching the ball on the run. Either he's catching it on the run on a fast break and he's running into the pass and jumping almost at the same time, or he's cutting from the outside to the basket, as Josh Hart caught him on some beautiful plays, and so did Cat last night. and he's getting easy layups, or he's pre-releasing and getting a fast break layup, or he's getting a steal. But in all cases, he's moving, and the ball is moving with him. That's the key here. What I liked about, again, last night with Jalen Brunson, even though Brunson did have 10 assists last night, is because he's passing the ball and he's moving off ball. And the Knicks in the last, since especially in these last 3 games, but even since the break, he's been really moving off ball. That one game against Cleveland, he got carried away, dribbling the air out the ball, taking too much time off the clock, but he quickly adjusted, and they made adjustments. And all of y'all, again, talking about his father being a problem, y'all need to stop making up. You're looking at too many soap operas and reading soap operas into the Knicks. Stop doing that, please. It's not true. They're professionals. They all want to win a championship, and they're all collaborating to do that. So whatever Rick Brunson is telling Jalen, he's catching it, because Jalen's been going off ball. Okay, and so it's working out very well. So last night, it was a really good case in point of how you want the Knicks to play. It's not realistic to think they're going to run through people like they did in San Antonio, against San Antonio on Sunday. But last night was more realistic, and that is exciting to me, being that Toronto only scored 95 points. And the reason that's exciting, of course, is because that means the defense is crunching right now. Okay, so and what's going on last night, you see the free throws. Toronto had 19 free throws to the Knicks 12. A lot of times that creates a loss, okay, because you can almost see the refs being a little bit biased. But the 3-point percentage, Toronto put up 28 threes, and they only hit 29% of them. And that's directly the improvement on covering the weak side 3-point shooter. That's tremendous. And I guess what happened now, you needed to have Brown comfortable with the crew that he wants to roll with. And that crew needed to understand the technique or the template that Brown wants to run in terms of this particular point, getting to that weak side 3-point shooter. Now, a couple of times yesterday, they did get some weak side jumpers, but you're going to expect that. This is the league. These guys are really good. By the way, Brandon Ingram, there's a reason I think he was drafted number 1 overall coming out of Duke. For a while, I thought I wouldn't call him a bust, but I would call him a disappointment because he was hurt so much and he was very skinny. But this year, he's played, if he hasn't played every game, he's played a lot of games this year, I think more than his career at this point. And he is smooth. He got George Gervin-like smoothness to his game. And he really is a high level scorer in the NBA level. So he was hitting a couple of shots from those corners, and of course he's got his favorite spot, which is very similar to Pascal Siakam's favorite spot, and he shoots it very similar too. And he's very difficult to guard there. But the Knicks did a great job on him last night. And this is the thing: in every NBA game, the 2 teams that are playing, one team wants to take stuff away from the other, take strengths away if they can. For example, anybody playing New York wants to take Brunson out. They want Brunson not a factor. Of course, it's difficult to do, right? But that's the goal. You want to take stuff away, okay? Now, if you got a Toronto team, which has a Brandon Ingram playing at a high level, you want to try to take him away. Okay, it's difficult. Again, this is the league. And so what happens is you end up getting R.J. Barrett more opportunities. And R.J. Barrett, one of the things he was doing from his rookie year at age 19 is being able to play bully ball against bigger guys. Like in college, he did it, and nobody was sure if he was going to be able to get away with that. I know I wasn't on the league level because how much bigger and fast, but from the time he got in the league, he'd been doing it, and he was doing that last night. He was playing bully ball, and he was getting to the basket. And you know he's going left, and you still can't do nothing about it. But the Knicks did a good job containing him and making him work. So it was a game where you got balanced scoring. The Knicks out-rebounded them 43-28, okay? The Knicks had 32 assists. Again, I mentioned Brunson had 10 of them, but there was 22 others. And Cat had some, and OG had some, and McCaw had some, and Hart had some. In fact, Hart had 7 assists. 7 boards, 7 assists, 12 points. That's why he's out there, okay? And that's when he's at his best. And the Knicks did points in the paint 52-42, which means, again, They were getting in Toronto's paint and being successful at keeping Toronto out of their paint. That's how you want to win basketball games. Karl Anthony Towns is the key here. The reason I was saying give him the damn ball wasn't because I wanted him to score 30 and 15, though he's capable of doing that. He's not getting enough credit because of the short-sightedness of some people, but he is smart with the basketball. So the game was going through him. And what did he do last night? He's been hitting boards, but he got, I think it was 21 points last night, 21 points, and he had 12 boards, and he shot 10 of 17. See, when you give the ball to Karl Anthony Towns, again, offensively, there's not many guys on the planet that can play like him offensively, period. That's why it kills me every time somebody complains about him. It's like you don't even realize what you have. It's like in New York, they hate their own players. It's sad. But he is so good with the ball that he becomes more efficient like he did last night. 10 of 17 from the field. Now, he only shot 4 threes. He only hit 1, but he wasn't pushing it, okay? And he played 29 minutes. This is beautiful, see? 29 minutes, he's not going to be tired. Okay, then you got Mitchell Robinson, who tweaked his ankle a little bit. He played 20 minutes, but that's the balance you want to see going forward. So that brings out the best in Towns, who is +7, and that flows through the whole offense. Okay, and then Josh Hart was on his game in terms of watching for cutters also. As I mentioned, the 7 assists and a couple of beautiful passes. So this, if we can get that, and I think we can on a consistent basis because of now Brown figuring out what he got and what he wants to do, this is going to be really good down the stretch. And this is a good test that we got even starting tonight. Now, we're not going to have Mitchell Robinson tonight, but it's still, you're going to, and you're missing a bigger piece with Mitchell Robinson. So you're going to have Ariel Hukporti probably playing more time tonight. You're going to have OG playing some 5 tonight. Okay, you're going to have Muhammad Diawara trying to guard some players at the 5 tonight, which he could do. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, and it's the second night of a back-to-back. It is in New York, okay? So they're going to have tired legs. But this is where the execution is important. So if they're executing, in other words, if they're moving the basketball and getting good shots, this is the thing. And some of y'all don't understand this, so let me explain. There is no way every team in the league is going to hit all their shots every night. Okay, it's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. But what you want, if you can get every night, is ball movement so that the shots you're taking are good shots. Okay, so if you're getting Jalen Brunson at his favorite three-point spot, either straight on the top of the key or a little to the right where he's shooting to his left, he likes that shot. If you're getting that and he's not hitting it, it's just because his legs are tired. Okay, and that's fine. If you're getting Mikal Bridges on the move and he's just not hitting the 3, okay, as long as he's getting that shot, okay, because most times he's going to hit it. If you're keeping your turnovers under control, which they did not do a great job last night, actually, because they had too many last night. Last night they had 16 turnovers. That's no good. Cat had 3 of those, but and then it was 2 spread all over. But we got to do a little better there. Usually with tired legs comes more turnovers. But if you're moving that ball and getting good shots and just not hitting them, OG money from the corner. But if he's not hitting it, but he's getting open looks, that's going to happen sometimes. Okay, you got to accept that, because the thing about the Knicks now being 40 and 22 is more games than not, they will be hitting them. You're going to get some dud games, though. It's going to happen. It's the league. It happens to everybody. Don't need to jump off a bridge behind that. All right, so this is what we're looking for tonight. Execution, good shots. And what I love about Towns is that once he knows the offense is running through him, and yes, I admit, if he's not getting touches, it's hard for him to stay engaged. But he's the best offensive center on the planet. It's him and Joker, I give them both. I mean, but offensively. So he should be getting touches. It shouldn't have to be he's not getting them, okay? So if he's getting touches and he's engaged, you're going to get good shots. You're going to get Brunson coming off screens. See, Brunson is hell coming off screens. And so Towns is the guy you want to have the ball in those situations. But Josh Hart does a good job. Mikal Bridges does a good job. And of course, Alvarado, he had 5 assists in 17 minutes last night. Okay. And he had 1 turnover. That's it. Okay. So this is flowing right now. So we just need execution. If they execute but just miss a good shot, I could live with that. And I'm sure the coach can. If they execute on the defensive end and fight like hell to keep, in this case, Oklahoma City out the paint, and that's going to be a job because SGA is just like Cade Cunningham in that he's about 6'6", with long, look like 7-foot wingspan, 6'6", 6'7". It will be difficult to keep him out the paint. They're going to have to fight like hell to keep him out the paint, okay? He's going to get his shot. You just want to make it tough for him to make that shot, okay? This is a superstar. This is an NBA champion. This is an MVP. You're going to have it tough. It's going to be tough, okay? But that's what you got to deal with. And then, of course, they got the supporting cast in Oklahoma City. They really, that's why they're the champs. They got the supporting cast, Holmgren, Dort, Jay Will, J-Dub, they got supporting cast. That's why they're the champs. And of course, you got guys like Caruso. You got, now they done added McCain, who was really good in Philly. They got a steal in getting him. And then Carson Wallace. Isaiah Hartenstein is day-to-day. They start Hartenstein with Holmgren. It's going to be hella fire today. No Mitch Robner. So it's going to be tough. But the Knicks cannot, and a lot of people say, well, let's start Mitch and take. You don't adjust to them. You make them adjust to you. Okay? Yes. Josh is going to have a hard time trying to guard Jalen Williams or trying to guard Hartenstein or Dort, or Holmgren. Yes. But they got to also guard him. And he runs the floor. He makes people run. Okay? Just like the road runner does. It's going to be a chess match. All right? And so I would play the way we normally play. They might out-rebound us, but we could fight to keep them out the paint, execute on the offensive end, get good shots. Okay? If Josh gets a defensive rebound, that's a one-way and fast break. Okay? So it's going to be tough. And this is a big one in terms of making sure you find that weak side three-point shooter. Oklahoma City is one of the best at getting that guy, whoever it is. And they got a number of guys. J-Dub, could hit that. Wallace could hit that. Caruso could hit that. McCain could hit that. Aaron Wiggins could hit that. Isaiah Joe could hit that. They got a number of guys. Dort could hit that. They got a number of guys. That's what makes them one of the best teams in the league. They're interchangeable like that on both sides of the ball. You could switch and you're going to still have a defender on you. And on offense, strong side, you could double somebody. They're going to have somebody on the weak side ready to shoot that basketball. You got to be ready, okay? And again, this is where the tired legs comes in. When I've seen the Knicks at their worst, they got tired legs. They don't catch that shooter, especially, again, Brunson, Hart, and Mikal. And then all of a sudden, we're getting lit up from the three-point line. So this is going to be the test today. Can they focus on the defensive end, making sure they're making them three-point shots difficult? Can they fight like hell to keep SGA, make it as tough as possible, because he's going to get his points, make it tough as possible to get in the paint for him? Can they get into the other team's paint by moving that basketball and getting Brunson off ball? Can they do that? And then will their legs have enough energy to knock down their open shots, which they will get with Cat running the offense, right? So we're going to see. This is execution. This is about an execution type situation. So let's see them execute. Again, don't trip if they're missing shots. It's okay as long as they're good shots. They have 4 shots. Like last night against Toronto, again, damn, Brendan Ingram was tough. But what I did notice is a lot of their shots, especially like when Quickly or RJ, they had to work really hard, even if they made the shot. And that's the difference in an NBA game. The team that gets the most easy baskets usually wins. The team that has to work real hard for a basket is going to have a hard night. So Quickly was hitting off balance shots. RJ was trying to fight through double team. When you're making them do that, you make it tougher. Whereas here's McCall running the floor getting the dunk, right? And then, of course, you got wide open looks for Cat. You got wide open looks for Brunson. That makes the game easier. So again, it comes down to execution. Can they execute today? Get easy shots. Can they stop the other team? I know Landry Shamit's going to be up for it. He's been up for it all year. And he's been an important piece. I told y'all that from the end of last year. I don't even know why they was even mentioning, well, who's going to make it between Shamit and these other two guys. No, Shamit was going to be there. It's just a question if they want to add to Shamit or not. And now that Shamit's here, well, he's here. And so he's going to be up for that defense. And we know this. So that's what's a good thing for us. Then, of course, Kumo D. Kumo D can guard 1 through 5. So you got Cat, who had been playing hellified defense. Now, they gave him defense play of the game a couple games ago. He could have been defense play of the game last night. He was playing some hellified defense last night. I mean, legit top-level NBA defense. Not just for Cat, period. He was doing good. So that's good. Now, we got Mikal Bridges, who can legit guard 1 through 4. Josh Hart, who can legit guard 1 through 4. OG Anunoby, who can legit guard 1 through 5, right? Kumo D, who can legit guard 1 through 5. You got Jose Alvarado, who definitely can guard 1 and 2 and guard them very well. You got Deuce, can guard 1 through 4. You got Mitch Rob, he can guard 1 through 5. He really can. And then, of course, because you think you got a mismatch with Mitch, you don't. He can lock you down at the point guard as well. And then Shamit. You got so many guys that could guard 1 through 4, 1 through 5, at least multiple positions. Now, we know Brunson cannot, but we know that, okay? Cat really is a 5. He can guard 4s. But last night, he was doing a hell of a job, man. I don't want to say he was doing a hell of a job. So, with all of those defenders, and Oklahoma City got the same, that's why the Knicks are legit contenders. And again, second night of a back-to-back, it's not going to be about making sure you hit every basket. They may even not do well at the foul line. That's another function of tired legs. So we got to see. But can they get to the foul line? Can they get open shots? Can they make Oklahoma City work hard and not just get whatever they want? These are the keys here, okay? This is what we're looking for. If they do those, and God forbid, don't let them start getting 3 stops in a row on Oklahoma City, I'm very happy. See, the score is important. We all want the Knicks to win. But what I'm looking for tonight in this scenario is game execution, okay? If we win, that's great. If we don't, it's not the end of the world, as long as we got game execution. So we'll find out. And this is, again, this is a hard part of the schedule. March is the hardest part of the schedule for the Knicks. And we're playing the best ball at the perfect time. Thank you, Mr. Coach Brown. Thank you, Makumo D. Let's get this dub if we can. Y'all enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk soon. So.